Every 4 years, half the planet stops what it's doing to watch 22 guys chase a ball. Over 5 billion people tuned in to the last World Cup. That's more than half of humanity. And yet most Americans still think it's just soccer, some slow, low-scoring game where nothing happens. Here's the truth. You've been missing one of the wildest, most dramatic events humans have ever created. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the World Cup breaks the internet, why grown men cry over it, and why it might be the single greatest show on Earth. Let's start with the basics. The World Cup happens every 4 years. It's a tournament where national teams, not clubs, not cities, entire countries, battle for one trophy. Think of it like the Olympics, but instead of individual athletes, it's your whole nation's soccer team representing you. Here's the wild part. Over 200 countries try to qualify. Only 32 make it to the actual tournament. That means getting into the World Cup is harder than getting into Harvard. Harvard accepts about 3% of applicants. The World Cup accepts about 15%. Wait, that sounds easier, right? Not when you realize entire countries are competing, not individuals. Brazil didn't just show up. They beat every other South American nation first. Now let's talk about the game itself, because this is where most Americans get lost. Football, what Americans call soccer, is simple on paper. 2 teams, 11 players each, 1 ball. The goal, kick it into the other team's net more times than they score on you. No hands allowed except for the goalkeeper. That's it. That's the entire sport. But here's the twist that changes everything. There's no timeouts, no commercial breaks, no stopping the clock every 5 seconds like American football. The game runs for 45 minutes straight, then another 45, 90 minutes of non-stop action. That's why fans call it the beautiful game. It flows like a story, not a stop-motion highlight reel. And here's something that blows people's minds. Low scores don't mean boring. A 1-0 game can be more intense than a 45-point blowout. Why? Because every single chance matters. One mistake, one moment of magic, and the entire match changes. It's less like watching basketball and more like watching a heist movie where one wrong move ends everything. Let's talk tactics for a second, because this is where casual fans become real fans. Every team has a formation, basically a battle plan for where players stand on the field. Some teams play defensively, packing players near their own goal like a wall. Others play aggressively, pushing forward like they're trying to sprint through traffic. Coaches study this stuff for years. It's basically chess, except the pieces are sprinting at 20 miles per hour and can get injured. Now here's a stat that surprises everyone. The average professional player runs about 7 miles per match. That's like running a quarter marathon while making split-second decisions, getting kicked, and being screamed at by 80,000 fans. Meanwhile, American football players run less than 2 miles per game, with pads and multiple substitutions. Which sport sounds more brutal now? Let's talk about the moment everything changes. Penalty shootouts. When a knockout match ends in a tie, it comes down to this. 5 players from each team, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, no defenders, no teammates, just pressure. It's the most intense 10 minutes in sports. Careers are made and destroyed in these moments. In 1994, a player named Roberto Baggio missed the final penalty of the World Cup final. He didn't just lose a game. He became a national symbol of heartbreak in Italy for over a decade.